So these are the notes for the first step of solving equations. We're starting solving equations with an interval from 0 to 2 pi. It's important to realize that in this interval, 0 is included because it has a bracket. 2 pi is not included, so an answer can be 0, but it cannot be 2 pi. Again, 0 is included, 2 pi is not included. We're going to be solving these without using a calculator. You have to know your special right triangles. You have to know your trig. This is where it really becomes important. And especially because the fact that there isn't an always. There's always going to be this many answers. It just depends on the problem. So first, solving. So I'm going to draw up my coordinate grid. I'm going to draw up the right triangles that I have based on whenever sine is -1/2. So if you remember, all sad turtles cry. So these two, sine is positive, and these two, sine is negative. So this is where I'm going to be drawing my triangles. And this is where it's very important for you to know your special right triangles. You have to know what they represent. Sine is my opposite over my hypotenuse. Opposite over my hypotenuse. Now when looking at this, I have to know that, well, this will also be a square root 3. Technically, this one would be negative. And this is a 30, 60, 90. So across from my 1 is 30. So that's my reference angle. So what I'm really looking for are my two angles here. So in here. So my first angle would be equal to 180 plus 30, so 210 degrees. My second angle, starting here, goes all the way. And when we're solving these, we always want our positive angle. So in this case, this would be 330 degrees. So I'm going to have to change both of those into radians. Over 180, pi over 180. So my two overall answers would be 7 pi 6 and 11 pi 6. So I have two answers for this one. Next. So my first objective is to always get your trig function by itself so you know how to actually set up your equation. So I have to actually solve for my tangent first. So I have tangent squared x. I'm going to add my 1 over, adding the 1. To get rid of a square or something squared, you take the square root. Once you take the square root of any number, this is the case for all math, you can have a positive or negative number. So dealing with tangent equals positive or negative 1. So I'm going to split this up because I'm going to write two equations. You don't necessarily have to, but I'm going to, just for the sake of it. So tangent is 1. That's a positive. So all sad turtles. So these are my two triangles that I'm dealing with. So tangent is going to be the same thing as opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent. So that's an opposite over my adjacent. So when I'm looking at this angle then, because this would be a square root 2, because if those are the same, they'll be a square root 2, that would be 45. And my reference angle here would be 45. So my two angles for this one would be 45 degrees and 225 degrees. And I'm going to have to change those to radians. My other picture would be tan is -1. All sad turtles cry. Same thing, opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. So my reference angle here is also 45. So my two angles here would be 135 degrees and 315 degrees. So you're going to have to change all of these into a radian measure. So multiply them by pi over 180. So we have pi over 4 as an answer. We'd have 5 pi, 5 pi over 4 as an answer. We'd have 3 pi over 4 as an answer, and 7 pi over 4 as an answer. So in this problem we have 4 answers. So first one was already given. Second one we had to solve. Now this third one we still have to solve, but I have a sine squared and a sine. Now if they're the exact same trig functions like sine and sine, then I probably am going to have to try to factor. So looking at this is like the same thing as mathematically if I gave it to you like this. So you have to factor two numbers that multiply here would be like the 2x and the x. You have to decide where should my negative 1 go, where should my positive 1 go. I'm going to put my positive 1 here and negative 1 here. You can guess and check if you want. Check your outsides. This gives you a 2x. Inside gives me a negative 1x. So add them together, I do get a positive x. So first I have to factor. So it's the same thing over here. I have 2 sine x, subtract 1, and I have sine x plus 1 equals 0. So now that I am factored, now that I don't have any other squares here, I can set them both equal to 0. So I have 2 sine x minus 1 equals 0, and sine x plus 1 equals 0. So for this first one, I have sine x is equal to, I add the 1 over, divide by 2. And the second one, sine x would be equal to negative 1. So I'm going to draw two separate graphs. Sorry, thinking, move this up. So for my first one, all sad turtles cry. So it's positive. And that's opposite over my hypotenuse. Opposite over my hypotenuse. So I'm dealing with 1 and a 2, not square root 2, but a 2. So 1 and a 2, that means my other term is a square root 3. Across my 1, this would be 30, 30. So I have a 30 degrees, and then my reference angle here is 30, so I'm 150 degrees. So those are two answers I have to put into radians. For sine of negative 1, sine of negative 1 would be my y value. So where is y negative 1? This is where y is negative 1. It's this point right here. 0, negative 1. And that would be this angle, which I know is 3 pi over 2. 30 would be pi over 6. And this would be 5 pi over 6. So this one only has 3 answers. Again, there's not always going to be one case scenario. So you still have to solve here. But one thing I see right away, I do not have the same trig function. I want to try to have the same trig function. If possible, you want to try to replace something so then you have the same of it. Now when looking at this has a 3 with it. This has no number in front. So I'm actually going to want to try to rewrite this. Now if you remember that handy dandy little trig identity. We had a trig identity that was this. So I can replace sine of x with 1 subtract cosine squared. So instead of writing sine of x, I'm going to 1 subtract cosine squared x is equal to 3 cosine squared x. So I'm going to actually first add over this cosine squared x. So I'm going to add it to this cosine squared x. So I have 1 is equal to 4 cosine squared x. Divide by 4. So I have 1/4 is equal to cosine squared x. Take the square root, take the square root. Remember now, I'm going to have two different answers. Shoot. So what I'm actually going to be dealing with is cosine x is equal to a positive 1/2 and cosine x is equal to a negative 1/2. Now when this happens, more than likely you will be having 4 different answers. So the positive 1/2, all sad turtles cry, positive. My negative 1/2, technically I could write all 4 of them on the same graph. That's fine too. So my adjacent is 1, my hypotenuse is 2. Not square root 2, but 2. So this would be my square root 3. And across from my square root 3 is always going to be the 60. So this is 60, this is 60. It's going to be the same thing over here. My adjacent is negative 1, my hypotenuse is 2, your square root 3, your negative square root 3. So again, reference angle is 60, 60. So the 4 angles I'm dealing with is 60 degrees, and this one would be 300 degrees, and 120 degrees, and 240 degrees. You have to change all of those into your radians. this up again. Oh my God. Sorry if that looks confusing. So now I have pi over 3. I have 5 pi over 3. I have 2 pi over 3. And finally, I have 4 pi over 3. So those would be my 3 answers. So those are solving with the interval from 0 to 2 pi, which is actually easier than solving like the next one. Have a great, grand, wonderful day.